Yes. We'll give it a second to connect.
This afternoon, I was reading an article and there was a button to say click to learn more. It freaking opened up a FaceTime call with the person. I was like, oh, what? And like they answered like instantly, and I was just like, I didn't even know my computer could do this. Like, hello, I'm sorry. Like,
you didn't give permission or anything? It just
opened up the, like, it gave me like a little bit. It like bounced for a little bit on the bottom, and so like open FaceTime, and then once it opened though, it rang like once, and like as I was like, wait, why is it opening FaceTime? All of a sudden they're like, hey, how can we help you? I was like, oh, excuse me.
You can stop freaking me out for starters.
Yeah. So yeah, this afternoon that was my jolt. So.
All right, we are live, you guys.
Cool.
We'll get started in just a second.
I'm watching it. I have it over there.
Oh, you're playing it?
So I'm the watcher right now.
Okay.
Over there.
Oh, you're playing it?
So I'm...
Uh-oh.
Okie dokie. All right. I don't know how many people are on, but I think we should probably go ahead and get started here.
All right, let's do it.
Yes. Well, welcome to Appy Hour. I'm Patrick, and I am the marketing manager here at Juice Analytics. We wanted to take a little bit of time today to have a sip and build exercise with all of you, where you get to see a live build of a Juicebox app. So it's going to be very informative. It's going to be super fun. Topic today is going to be about coffee, which is something that we take very seriously here at Juice Analytics. So I'm going to turn it over to my counterparts and colleagues, Brian and James, and let them introduce themselves, and then we'll go ahead and dive into everything.
Yeah, my name is Brian. I'm a part of the customer success team here at Juice, and I'll be your driver today. And with me is James.
Hey, I'm James. I lead the design on the platform, so excited to ride along.
All right. And Brian, if you would just kind of walk everyone through what all we're going to be building out today, and go ahead and explain that so that way everyone can have a brief understanding before you dive right on into the platform itself.
Yeah. So today we're going to be building a real quick app in Juicebox about coffee. We found a sweet data set on Kaggle that includes, you know what? How about I show you guys the data set to start off with? So I'm going to share my screen here. Cool. Perfect. So yeah, I started to share. We found this data set here has different companies, like coffee companies, and then where they're located. And then someone did a survey where they tested them all and found, what their aroma, the flavor, the body balance, really graded them all. And here we are. Then we're going to display this data and see which is our favorite, which is the best rated, and where can we find it. So what we're going to do here is we have our document. We're going to download it as a CSV. Perfect. And then we're going to head over to Juicebox and create a new app. So we're going to click the big orange button on the top. Now we do have some sweet templates here, but we're going to do it fresh. So let's start it here.
Coffee.
Oh yeah, coffee.
Great title.
This is where we put the title in a little more. James, do you have any recommendations here, which we as the description, or just start simple?
I mean, probably the data. One of the big questions is going to be, where does coffee come from? So why don't we just ask that question?
And we get to pick a starting color here. We can either do a custom one or pick from here, and we can always change that later. So let's start with orange. That might be the closest coffee one. And then we get to pick a font. So let's see which one looks the most fun with coffee. Let's do this one for coffee. And then click go. Let's create it. So here we are in Juicebox. Here we have the editing panel on the left. We have our preview of our app on the right. And then just to give a little bit of an overview, we have 3 tabs in our editing panel. We have the data tab, we have the design tab. That's where we're going to build up the app and add charts and such. And then the share tab, where we can share or publish, like save our app, as well as decide who gets to look at it and how we're going to share it. So let's going to start off here, and most important, let's upload our CSV. We just downloaded it, so let's upload it. So what this is doing then, it's loading that CSV into Juicebox, and then we're going to have a couple options. So we get to play. We get to either, we can add the data automatically here, or we can manually add it. And since we know what's in this data, we're going to click automatically and see what it gives us, because this will create the ingredients that we'll use to feed the charts in our app. So cool. So we got all of that loaded here. And then as we take a look, we have a couple dimensions. So like things that we can categorize by, and then measures, numbers that we can display. So we have the country that the coffee is from. We have the owners of like the coffee companies. And then we have all of our survey data on this side. And then from our data, we do have our latitude and longitude. And I know that we're looking at where does coffee come from. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off creating a place ingredient so that we can feed the map later. So I'm going to open up the data source here. And we want to see the country. So let's start off with country, and we can create that place ingredient. And here we're going to label, this is our plural label. So what's going to appear in the app, we're going to put countries, singular of country. We're just going to put country there. And then we have to assign from that latitude and longitude column in our data. We'll assign the latitude, and we'll assign the longitude. Cool. And then we're going to click just anywhere outside this box, head back. And as you can see, we have a new dimension here, countries. So we'll be able to create the map later with that. But let's head on over to the design tab, and let's get something started here. So let's start off here, and we can create, let's add a chart. So, we have all that survey data, and as we want to see which one's best. So let's compare all of them. Let's compare as many as we can, and let's make a leaderboard chart. And what are we going to compare here? We're going to select, let's do aroma, balance. Let's see, here we got flavor ratings. We can look through here, like the rating of the body. And then, so we have what we're going to show, what we're going to compare against. Well, how are we going to rank them here? So we can choose, countries or owners of the companies, but, let's start off with this. But what if we also wanted to do another one, the owners? So we're showing this with the countries based on rating. But let's show the owners. So we're taking a look here at the leaderboard, just kind of ranking the ratings here. And, as we're looking back at the data, these numbers are not quite what we expected. So let's look back at the data here.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, we're looking to find, what are the averages from each country. So for example, we have two different
This
copies
is a scale.
here.
It was probably like on a scale from, I don't know, 0 to 10, maybe these things were scored.
Yeah, so measures then, they'll come through aggregated as a sum. So it'll just add them all together automatically. But what I did here is I clicked the aroma and we're going to change it to an average. And we can see our chart update as well. Yeah, so that looks more like what we're expecting to see, like the scale of 1 to 10, which one scored the best here. So I'm going to quickly change all four over to average.
Why don't we add that? I think there was a column that was total. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
this one.
total cut points.
Yeah, it'd be kind of nice. So like the leaderboard's nice for getting the overview on performance. So that one especially is like aggregation of all of them. So if we put that at the beginning, maybe let's like drag that to the beginning, then save it. I don't know if it showed up in Chart. Should. There it is.
There we go.
So then it's kind of nice because you can see the overall. Oh, is that average? I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah, that gets totaled up. Yep. So that's the top. That's right. No, I think that's right. I forgot they actually totaled those up for the. So that's that Metad PLC. That's like the top overall one. And then if you click it, then you can actually see the breakdown across all the other, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So it really points out where each one falls. So like this one overall is rated very high, but it doesn't quite hit the top 10 across the actual marks. So, but let's say we want to see both the top and the bottom, kind of mix things up. So I'm going to unselect what I already selected, and then here we have the top 5 and the bottom 5. So that's kind of neat that we can see right in front of us. We can compare and see what the differences are. But while we were talking, so we're ranked right now by the actual coffees themselves. But what if we want to know like what countries have the best coffee? We can either add another leaderboards chart with countries selected, or we can do this. It's really cool in Juicebox. We're going to add what's called a chooser. So what I did is I clicked to add a new chart and add a chooser. And then I'm going to put that just right above. So I'm going to just click and drag it right above the slice that we were working on. And it's just a placeholder right here. So we're going to add then countries and owners. And then right now, it doesn't do much. It just lists that we have countries and owners. We can't click it, can't navigate it at all. But if we go back to that leaderboard slice, one cool thing we can do is go back to our ranking and let's rank them by that chooser. So you'll notice this new chooser 1 is here. So we'll click that and then save. And then let me get rid of this text so they're closer together. We can see them on the screen. What that does then is right now everything is rated by based on countries or display based on countries, or we can switch it and click owners and it'll actually update to see the coffee companies that have the best coffee. So it's kind of cool, gives the interactiveness to your user right there. And if we want to kind of tell the user that if they click here, it'll actually change like what they're seeing in this leaderboard slice. We can even add some text here to tell them, hey, let's compare the ratings by countries or by owners, depending on what's clicked. So we're going to go back to the chooser. Right next to it, there's a little at symbol, and we can click it, and it'll actually copy the reference that we'll need. If we go back down to the text then, and we're going to paste that right in there, and it looks kind of spicy here, it looks kind of scary, but if we click save, it'll actually update the text then to follow that chooser. So if we go back and we change it to owners, it'll filter everything and it'll update the text to say, let's compare the ratings by owners. Let's compare the ratings by countries. So it really tells that story that you're trying to convey. And, maybe someone doesn't know that they can click that. So let's add, I love emojis. So let's add a coffee emoji here and say,
maybe make it a little bigger too. Like a heading style.
Yeah. So we can either select the text and change it to a bigger text here. Otherwise, what we can do is let's go down here. This box here, we can also use Markdown. So I can add, and it'll actually make the text that I just had here. It'll make it pop here. So we can again select your countries or owners, and then let's compare the ratings by owners or countries. So this is really cool. We can see then, does Ethiopian coffee? It's very highly rated, but let's compare it with Kenya. So overall, Ethiopia is rated high in the different categories, but then Kenya here, it's lagging a little bit behind, but it's still overall is pretty good. So now that we can see the actual numbers, like let's dive in then and see where does this coffee come from. So we're going to add a new chart then down here, click the add chart button, and we made that place ingredient earlier. So we're going to add a map then with that countries and then bubble size. So we did have a count in our data. I'm going to jump back to the data here. We do have a count column, and that makes it pretty easy to be able to add like, hey, this many coffee is made in each country. But what if I didn't have that count column? What if I don't already have that column here? So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to find the owners. I don't have, I can only see measures here, so I can't select it. So what I could do then is head back to the data tab, find my owners here. I'm going to click to look at this ingredient, and then up in the top right of the ingredient model, I'm going to duplicate as advanced. And from here, I'm going to change this to just owners as, that's what we're trying to display. We can even adjust here. We can change the emoji then next to it, so that when the ingredient appears in the app, it'll have that next to it if it's in like a filter pill or something like that. And we're going to change this to a measure. And then in field, we can do math right in here. So we can do count owner. So now we made a measure then based off of the dimension that we had before as a count. So if we go back we're going to be able to add that to our map. So we have countries as the bubbles. So what points on the map are looking to show for each country. And then we're going to use our new one, the owner. You click save. And I'll show the map here. And you might be saying, hey, there was quite a bit more countries in that data than just Kenya and Ethiopia. But as you remember, we selected those two countries here above. So if we unselect them, it'll actually filter the map below. So we have 36 countries worth of data here, all the data, and the bubble size, so how big the bubble is how many coffees, how many owners there are in each country. So if I want to go back then and select a few, it actually will filter down to just what is selected. So it's really cool, really interactive for users as well. And then, which ones these are, we can hover over to see, Ecuador has 2, Rwanda has 1. But what if everyone loves to be able to see that as well, to be able to take that away from the app at the end. And it's very comfortable to have a table that will display this. Everything will filter down like a waterfall, all the selections. So let's create a table here as well. So we have the countries, the owners, and then let's add then the measures from above so that it's listed and we can see each coffee. So let's see here. You can type the search as you're looking for ingredients too. Perfect. So I'm going to click save, and this table then will update to our data. And then we could see, very close to what we started with, but it's based on what we have selected. So if we go back and we can adjust what we have listed, or what order the columns are, we can even adjust right on the fly, just by clicking the pill and dragging it. Let's see. So if we want the order to be cut points, we want it to be real, in between the country and the owner, we can actually just click and drag it over. And we can rate it right in here if we want to sort most to least, least to most.
Hey, Brian, we had a question come in that I don't know if we'll, if you want to open back up that advanced ingredient for a second. Somebody asked about the YAML that they saw. I guess they recognized it. And they were asking if we can do if this, basically filtering if statements in here. And we're probably won't get into showing it now, but you can do, what do we call them? We can add different kinds of conditions to the measures that will filter on other fields or this field or things within particular values. So yeah, you can definitely do pretty advanced calculations here, and the docs kind of tells you all about that.
Yeah, we have a great doc section too. If you ever have any questions, the top right, there's a help button, and you can either reach out and chat with us, send us an email. We have our docs here. We even have help articles that help get you started. And if you just open up a workspace, we have a checklist as well to help get you situated. So what we can do is, I wanted to finish up too. I just remembered with this table. A lot of people love the tables to be able to make their selections above, and then at the bottom they would like to get a piece of that table. And no one wants the copy paste of a table that's not very usable. But if you enable the data download right in the design tab here of the chart, the user then will be able to see a little download button. So they'll be able to download that table as well. It'll download as like a spreadsheet. So now let's take a look at this app. We can minimize the editing panel and let's just get an overview. So we scroll up. Cool. We can select countries or owners here. We have our leaderboard, and we can show top 10, bottom 10. We can show the top and the bottom, shows the scores. We have our map of where they are, followed by a table. And let's say we want the style it a little bit. Let's make it pretty. So let's open the design tab here. We're going to scroll up, and we can either change the overall theme. So what color theme? What color would we like to use in the charts and selections? We do want it to stay orange, or we want it to be something different. No, I really like the orange because it pops. We can adjust the header style color here too. And I actually have some good colors already set aside.
You have some coffee colors.
I do. So we can use the hex color just by, after we click the little drop button, we can paste in a hex color and it'll actually update the colors right away. So let's get this fucking
What if
rolling.
you want to do a big presentation style header? Let me show
Oh,
you
yeah.
what it looks like too.
So up at the top of the designer tab here, we can adjust the settings and theme, or there's also the header style. So we have a couple different options here. I like this big one. And once I click save, it'll update the header. So big coffee. Where does this coffee come from? But this little emoji here, I want to update that. So back to settings and theme. Let's find a nice hot mug. I really set the stage so that when a user gets to the app, they'll see coffee. Where does coffee come from? They can either click or they can scroll. And let me grab another color here too. And I can start changing a few. So we can change the whole section, which includes these slices color. We can paste that in. I like going to help my apps. I like doing a real dark color followed by a lighter color, and kind of keep it consistent throughout. So I have this map in the table. We could really. I love bold colors, so I'm gonna make it pop with this. But
maybe I'm curious what the retro. Let's change the map style.
oh yes,
Let's see what retro looks like. I think that's in there.
yeah. There's a couple different options for what kind of style would you like your map. Let's do retro. We're gonna click save.
Yeah, we may want to do dark then.
Yeah, we could do
Or night.
try a night one. That's a little, at least on my monitor, it's a little bit too dark, but let's play around, see which one is our favorite.
Nice.
Cool, James, which one do you like the best so far?
I think cool looks pretty good. Pretty cool
Pretty cool.
for these colors so far. It's always nice when the map to try and complement the background of it with that color a little bit. So if you wanted to, you could change just the color for that map slice.
Oh yeah.
To that light blue. Let's see what that looks like.
I'm gonna minimize the editing panel here, so it's so now it's extra blue. And let's say I have this app in, it's looking good. what if I want to share it? What if I want to send it over to James so he can look and play with himself? I can actually go over to the share tab, click the start sharing button. It gives me two options. So I can either publicly share it. It'll give me a link then that I can share with anybody that has the link, or I can privately share it. And I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to click private. I'm going to share. And this way then I get to, if I get to really hone in on who can view this, only people I give access to. So I can send them a specific link, or give them the link, or send an email invite, but I can send it to them, and only the first person that clicks that link will be able to access it. Otherwise, I can switch it over to public, and anybody, I'm going to click copy it to my clipboard. Anybody who sees that then will be able to view the app. So it is pretty cool. Anybody with that link then will be able to see the app, and I'm going to open it up so it's full screen. There won't be an editing panel then. Cool. So we have our app. You can scroll through, make selections. See on the map where it is. We can even make selections in the app. So let's say I want Colombian and Vietnamese coffee, and it'll update right here in the table all of the Colombian and Vietnamese coffee. So it is pretty cool. Do we have any other questions then?
Yes, Brian. Stephen wanted to know if you could showcase how to insert an image into a Juicebox app.
Ooh, good idea. So
great question.
We're going to go to the design tab here, and how about right at the top, let's add an image. And we can either upload our own image, or let's find an image. And let's see. Look at that one's coffee. It's like it knows us.
Coffee's a pretty popular in stock photography.
But let's search coffee here. Which one is popping off to you, James?
What about coffee farmer? What if you search that? See if anything comes back.
Oh yeah.
What's that one with the landscape? I mean, those are pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Let's see. And select that. And I'll put it right into our app just by making that selection. Look at that. Chef kiss.
Nice.
Perfect. Well, we'll be able to share this then in the chat so anybody can see. I'm going to click share changes so that, because right now if someone were to open up the published app, they wouldn't have that image that we just added. So I'm going to share this so that if someone clicks the link now, they're able to see the image. So I'm going to go back to the published app here, click refresh. And bada bing, bada boom, look at the beautiful image.
Love it.
So,
cool. It's making me thirsty. Let me get some coffee.
Perfect. Well, I'm liking this app. We were able to get it done fairly quickly here. And if anyone ever needs help, like I said, up in the top right, just click help and you can chat with us, check out our documentation. We'd love to help you succeed. So, yeah, thanks, Patrick, for getting this all set up for us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. That concludes this week's Appy Hour. Make sure that you are following us on social media to see when our next one will be. You can also go back and review this video as well on our Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube channels. Thank you so much, y'all. I appreciate you.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.
See y'all.